Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we wonder how Willet gets so popular as they shun any media coverage. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker, Kathy Kuhl, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey.
Howdy.
Hey, we're going to talk today about Willet and how do they achieve this like cult-like status where they have people that, if they announce they're going to be doing a release at the distillery, people line up and then they come out and they say it's going to be $700. It doesn't matter. People jump all over it, so it should be good stuff. We'll talk about even a new release they've got. It's a wheated bourbon that's going to be coming out, 8-year-old wheated bourbon. We know 8-year-old wheated bourbon. There's a lot of different, wheated whiskeys out there that are in that 8-year range, but this one's going to be $230. So how does Willet do it when they're not doing any sort of media, anything like that? They won't do podcasts. You won't ever hear them on the Bourbon Show. Not because we don't want them on there, because they don't do that kind of stuff. So we'll talk about that after the break. For right now, Kathy said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Kathy?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you'd call it like a riddle or more like a spelling test. But here's the question, and I'll just put it out there and then let you guys answer, like whoever can come up with it first. How high do you have to count to use the letter A in the spelling of the number?
What?
Okay, so you're counting 1,
Right.
2, 3.
Right.
When does the letter A occur?
One.
Number 1.
No, the letter A is not in the word one. It's O-N-E. There's no A, McNew.
Wait, so first,
We're off to a really strong start.
I didn't know it was going to be this hard.
Like
Okay.
million, trillion,
I saw
quadrillion,
I saw the
So
answer.
like
And now I'm
1,
forgetting
2,
it.
3, 4. None of those have the letter A in them yet. 5.
thousand,
Oh, now I understand the question.
real
finally. Okay.
numbers.
thousand.
1,000. Yeah.
1,000. You have to get all the way up to 1,000 before you use the letter
800.
A.
800.
800.
No, there's no A in that.
800. Yeah,
$800.
$800.
So what if we're doing
Dollar.
cents?
I'm giving you
So
$1. One.
technically, if you're writing out a number and it's in the hundreds, you're allowed to put the word "and" between the tens and the ones. So you could put the word, so you could put like 321, you could put 300, 320 and 2, right?
Don't
You're
you
writing
have to get beyond 1,000 in order to put the ands?
1,000.
I did not sign up for math assignments.
When
today.
is it that you can put "and" in a word by grammar rules?
It was just the numbers, people. It was supposed to be a fun riddle.
I made it
Fun
not
riddle.
Went
fun.
down the shitter
Everyone's
so
angry about
fast.
it now.
This,
Yeah.
this includes math, and you ruined it.
No, there's no math. It's just spelling.
Do we feel like somewhere out there Danny Kennard knows the answer and he's yelling at the radio right now?
Yelling at his truck right now.
Right. Why am I not on the show? This is one I knew. Yeah. I don't know.
I spell numbers.
I
work
feel
on
like
my
if you
riddles.
spelled
Yeah.
8, if you spelled 8 wrong, you could put it there.
If you spell anything wrong, you can put it there.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
So is it 450? Is that okay?
No,
It's 450.
It's not technically. Yeah, it's 450.
So what if
It's
we have
not-
cents involved? Because if it's like $3.50, then the
Well, then
and
you're
has an A.
describing a price
But
of
that's a
something, not just a
number.
number.
No,
what,
okay.
what if we use
So we're talking about
Spanish?
integer.
What if we
We're
say-
talking about like 1 to
Sorry.
100.
Okay,
The
Daniel,
same
Counting.
thing.
Yeah.
So
This is
1,000.
So wrong.
1,000.
Sorry.
What's
Yeah.
the answer?
1,000.
1,000.
1,000.
Okay, so
1,000.
all right, we settled on 1,000.
That's really
That's
incredible
really
though. It's
high.
an important letter.
I mean, think about that. You got to count a lot of numbers to get to 1,000, and that's the first time the letter A is involved. And
I think you have to count. You have to count.
99.
Yeah, like
What about
1,000.
11D? Does that have an A? No.
It's a lot of numbers you have to count before 1,000. 999 to be
Oh my
exact.
God.
which has no A in it.
So my boyfriend was playing games with a friend of his. He does video games, and his friend, they have their headsets on, and his friend's son came in the room and goes, "Hey, Dad, guess how high I can count?" And it starts counting. And so his friend cannot hear his son counting behind him, but my boyfriend can hear through his friend's microphone his son counting. And he's counting 1, 2, 3, and like some time passes, and all of a sudden my boyfriend goes, "Man, Trace is still counting." And his friend goes, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Trace is counting. He's up to like 400 and something." And he turns and sees his son still counting. He's like 470 something. He's just been counting behind him and he can't hear him, but his voice is picking up on the microphone on his headset. And John's just been listening to him counting. He's up to almost
Sounds
500.
torturous.
It does sound like torture. Yeah.
He was like, "Dude, no, get out of here. What are you doing?"
It's like the water torture.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
All
All right,
sorry
gang.
about that. That went totally.
No,
That was
that's
good. I liked it. It was
that
a good
was-
little mind teaser. I'm sure
Probably.
it's like, I can say too, the people driving in their cars listening to this podcast, I bet they were thinking about it too. But it's good. They appreciated it.
Yeah.
No, this is going to cause them to have road rage. Somebody's going to be very.
For the
angry.
people who knew it right away, just yelling at us.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny, I assume it's Danny.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. It is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with McNew. McNew, what do you got?
Killing off my last sample tonight. It's a little book. Don't know what year because I didn't write it on there, but I have a little book sample.
Okay. Little book sample. All right. All right. Katie, what do you got?
I have some larceny.
Some larceny. Okay.
Hey.
McNew, we need to get you sample bottles with corks.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Yeah. I broke this one.
Okay. McNew talked over you, but it was still good.
It was so good. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. All right. Kathy, what do you got?
Since we're talking about Danny, I'm going to bring up my wild turkey. It's the 101 rye.
Freddie Mills approves.
Burning those rules. Turn around and drink that. All right. Not a lot in there. I'm going to work on my.
Okay. Well,
Talking
she talked
about-
over her own. She talked over her own cork pop. So yeah.
I feel like Katie still got it. Even though I
Katie
talked-
still got it. Katie
Yeah, that
still
was
got it.
Basie.
Does
Yeah.
that wild turkey go well with Nutella popcorn though?
I still
We're
need to
gonna
make
find
that.
out.
I bought the thing. 'cause I
bet
haven't
it
done it
does.
yet.
Oh, it was so crazy. Danny got in trouble for that. Yeah. He got.
Adina developed a beautiful cocktail
Yeah.
based on that.
He did.
That was one of the wilder moments of the Bourbon Daily. It wasn't wild when it happened because it just sounded like a very messy recipe to me. I didn't like it, but I thought it was all legit. None of it was true. It was so weird.
And they don't have Nutella in their house and have it
Right.
for years.
Yeah, they have it for years since their kids were young, and all their kids are out of the house now. So I think his youngest daughter's like 21. So yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Kaylee, what do you got?
Well, since we're talking about Willet, figured I'd go with some Willet. I'm trying to kill this bottle for a certain purpose. So, oh wow, just base.
Nothing.
Certain
Nothing
purpose.
on our end.
Certain purpose. Okay, I've got Stumpy's Old Monroe rye here. It's their rye. So here we go. No,
Oh,
Embarrassing.
I got it.
That made it
80.
sound dirty when you said for a certain purpose, by the way.
yeah, it did. It sounded
I
like
feel that
No,
purpose.
it's fine.
yeah.
Haley, we don't want to know what you're doing with your bottles, okay?
There's probably somewhere on the internet that does want to know.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know kink
But we
shame,
don't.
but
Reach
Yeah.
out to me at Kaylee O'Baker on Instagram. if you'd like to know.
Oh my! All right. All right.
you can find her on her OnlyFans.
Yes. Yes.
gonna start talking about her OnlyFans account.
This is how Willet does it.
Guys,
Yeah,
I am so close.
you asked me at the end of the show where.
All right. Well, cheers, gang. On that note.
Cheers.
All right.
Like it on that note, I am drowning myself in the rest of the show.
Yes. Yes.
The
This
only
is
male
not,
on the
it took
podcast
it took a turn I didn't expect. Let's say that. So.
We just made
Turns
Steve
you
so
don't
uncomfortable. It's
expect.
great.
Yeah.
I really just thought that bottle looks like a bong, and you took it a different
See, that's
direction.
what I was going
but,
for.
okay.
And you guys took it a whole different
But then
way.
you ran with it. Okay, they switched it, but then you ran
Stop
with it.
it.
So, yeah.
I mean, I gotta play into it. That's why you
Okay.
have to keep inviting me back. It's the shock value, right?
The shock value. Yes. I've got the show with the four women of the ABV Network, and you think, oh, this is going to be the casual night. Oh, it's like the worst night ever. Here we go. It's always the girls' nights that get us. So I always listen, like when McNew and Becca were doing shows. That was some of the craziest.
Say, at least be like you.
We had so
At least
much
be like you
fun.
joined this time. Yeah.
At least I'm here.
That
So,
wasn't
yeah.
Lucky we let you back.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Willet and how they do this, how they gained this great following. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Denny Kennard, and my altar drinking Edo is Freddie Miller. I'll drink to that.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about Willet and their weird following.
Yes, we are. So, you think about, marketing would tell you that the way you build up, customers is you market and you reach out in that way and you do all the, there's no bad publicity. So you get as much as you can, get your name out there, do every interview show and all that. And Willet doesn't do any of that stuff, but still they have this crazy following and it's very good whiskey. I'll give them that. So that's a good start was when you come up with good whiskey. But is it that much incrementally better than all the other, craft distillers that are out there? That's where it gets crazy to me. Why is there this cult-like following to Willet who both sells both stuff that they make as well as stuff that they source? So there's just this weird thing that goes on with Willet that they just have this following. Any insight from anybody here? Anybody have any ideas? Yes, it is. Congratulations, McNew. This is your 1,000th show. How about that?
Oh my God.
1,000. Can you believe that?
No.
We're not even doing a Willet show. It's
No,
fake.
we're not even doing that because I was going to say the Illuminati and just make some bad jokes. So
No. I mean, Willet does have this crazy thing, but McNew, this is your life. 1,000 shows.
it's not okay. So I've been here since 2017, and this is the longest thing I've ever done in my whole life because I usually just get bored.
Never had a job for this long for 5
No,
years?
I haven't. You know I haven't.
Well, true. You had 5 jobs last year alone.
I did. Yeah.
Maybe you're going to work up to your 1,000th job.
Yeah.
God, I hope not. I would rather hang myself than do that. But
Probably well on your way. I've only known you for like a year and a half now, maybe, and I feel like you've gone through a few jobs since then.
That's
I
okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're well on your way.
It's now August, so a good solid
1,000 dogs.
Oh, now there's a goal to have.
Oh, let me get a TV show. You know how like Mike Rowe did
Yeah.
dirty jobs? Let me do 1,000 jobs, but make it a TV show.
There you go.
There you go.
Who do I pitch this to? Travel Channel, maybe?
Maybe. McNew, do you remember the first show where you were an announcer? Not you came on for a series of like 4 or 5 shows, whatever we recorded back then, and just as a guest. But do you remember the first time you were doing what you do now, the announcer?
No, I don't. But it was very soon after. I feel like it was like the next week or 2 weeks later. It was very, very soon after.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't remember the show topic, and I don't remember who was on.
Okay.
Do you, Steve?
No, I don't remember who was on. I know
Do
Tracy.
research.
Tracy Napolitano was on,
God,
and
I could not say Tracy's name for like 6 months.
Right.
Like his last name killed me.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
And McNew got very drunk. So I don't know if that was calculated because you were nervous about being the announcer, or you just accidentally drank too much, or that was just the point in your life where you were drinking like that. I don't know, but you got very drunk. Remember that?
It took me a very long time to understand that we were recording 5 shows in a row and that these shouldn't be full pours. Like you should really just, not take shots and act like a normal human. It took me a long time to understand that. Yeah,
Well, congratulations. I'm impressed.
Thank you. 1,000 shows. Like
1,000 shows.
That's a
No,
lot.
it's really funny.
how many shows has Steve done? Oh my God.
So
Over 3,000. Yeah.
It's like, definitely over 2,137. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
what's your most memorable show?
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Most memorable. So I was actually on Becca Sue's first show. I was the announcer on that show. Remember that? And we brought her on for the swallowing dice video.
Yes.
Or, not
Literally,
dice.
that was a show.
Dice.
Right there, that's a show just to talk about a video that was on the internet. Yeah.
Yes. And
Not
that was
swallowing
our first
dimes?
introduction to her. Our very
Yeah.
first
Dice?
introduction to her.
Like
Dimes.
rolling dice?
I said dice.
Dimes.
It's dice.
Yeah.
Oh, dimes.
Dimes.
And- That
Dimes.
whole
10
video
cents.
10 cents. Okay.
was So chaotic.
Also does not have an A.
Like,
Watch that video. I would encourage you. Becca doesn't do a whole lot on Instagram, so you can get
Yeah.
on. Or no, excuse me. On
You can
that would-
find it.
yeah, it's out there.
but
She doesn't have a whole lot. So.
On Instagram at Kaylee Baker to see that video because I definitely have a link to it.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, that's
Yes.
good.
uh,
Her, yeah, swallowing dimes. That's how I met her. So I just sent her a direct message saying that was really funny, and I can't believe it. And then she's like, "That's only part of it. You got to see the whole thing." So she sent me like the uncut version. Yeah.
I heard about
it
that.
gets more
in Key
chaotic
West.
as it
Yeah.
goes, and she's just really setting on a bar, but the background and everything else is it's wild. So that was our first introduction to her. I very much remember that one. And oh my God, there's been so many good guests and funny things, and just it's really just become a whole part of my life, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go when McNew got married. I got to go to her house and meet her family,
came
which
to
was
my
cool.
wedding.
Yeah, I came to her wedding, and I got to meet your dad and your mom and your brother, and yeah, it
And
was
they knew
amazing.
who you were. They absolutely knew who you were.
They knew who I was. They knew about. I figured this is just like a little thing McNew does. Probably doesn't even talk about it with her family or anything. And no, they knew who I was and what we did, and yeah, that was like.
No,
it was a
so
whole thing.
for the longest time, my brother worked in like a little local factory because we're still from a very small town, and it's one of the biggest employers in like 2 counties. So my brother worked there. And a guy from high school, he's like, "Oh, your brother talks about your podcast all the time." And I'm like, I didn't even know he really gave a shit about it. Like, it was wild. So they're like, "Yeah, your brother talks about it all the time that you're on this podcast." And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Okay. Like, because I don't really tell people about it that I know.
Right.
But like, yeah.
So
But
yeah,
you
my
have
kid.
a fan base.
Yeah, you do have a fan base. We met one of McNew's fans this week.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Andy's a fan of McNew.
Oh, Andy's a McNew fan, so yeah.
Andy's a McNew fan. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. He likes McNew.
You should have a bottle on your shelf that signifies that.
I very much do.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I brought that home, and my husband was like, "What the hell do you actually do when you go places?"
What have you
I'm
done
like,
now? What have you done now, McNew?
Well,
Yeah.
Eventually, that parachute's gonna have to come down. So if you want that bag, let me know.
well.
So McNew, like you have this, persona and stuff like that, and like your 4th of July picture. That's a big thing. But so does your brother follow you on social media, or does your mom? Do they ever have conversations about what are you doing?
My mom does not understand Instagram, which is probably
That's
a good thing.
That's probably a good
but
thing.
My mom is my mom is like the Facebook mom. Like, mom is all up in some Facebook drama every day, and she sends me stuff before I see it. So mom is very much on Facebook, not Instagram, which is probably a very good thing for me. But my Instagram is private, so if you guys are privileged to see my chaos, not everybody gets to. So my Instagram is private. You do have to ask to follow me.
Do you vet anyone out, or if someone asks, are they automatically in?
So it's only private because of my husband's child's mother. I'm not going to say baby mama because that's rude, but she's a problem. So I made it private because I would block her, and then she would just make a new account and stalk me and cause problems. So I just, made it private to save my own sanity. But no, I some people lay that out and like, "Oh, you seem weird. You seem creepy." But if they follow like 10 other bourbon accounts, I'm like, okay, you're probably fine. I that's kind of my standard. I'm like, you follow 5 to 10 others, you're probably fine. Let them in. No questions. Yeah.
No questions. Okay. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Any touching moments, McNew? As you go back to the 5 years to do it, was there anything like, man, that was kind of a cool show? I can't believe we've reached people in this way, or this has happened. Anything that any human interest out of your time?
Yeah. So the shows are great because we bring people in virtually, but I think meeting people in real life is super cool. So Steve, it was a couple years ago. I came to St. Louis to do, it was at the,
it wasn't my birthday party. I know that you didn't.
No, it
show up
wasn't
for
your
that.
birthday party. It was at Stubborn German Brewing. They did like a bourbon thing. And I came to co-host with you there, and somebody walked in. They're like, "Are you McNew?" And I'm like, "How do you know me?" Like, because I don't think about people knowing me until I see them in person.
Right.
And then people are like, "Oh, that's McNew," and they give me hugs, and they're like, "Oh, you're funny," or "You're great," and I'm like, it's so bizarre to me that people recognize me.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I have in the shop now. There's a lot of people that have listened a long time, and they know who I am, and they'll come in and they'll have a conversation. We're friends, like I know who they are, and I initially I start talking to them, but then at some point I'll realize they're just a listener, and I don't know who they are at all. I've never met them, but they know a lot about me. They know about my family. They know about things that I've done or stories that I've shared, and it's definitely a weird thing. Yeah, for sure.
It's weird, but it's so cool
It's nice.
though.
It's
I was
flattering.
just like, I made some sort of impact where you think about me, you recognize me, and that's really cool. And yeah, it's just very cool, and it's cool that like people come on the show and I'll be like, oh, so-and-so just got a new pet, or so-and-so had a baby, or so-and-so got married, or a new relationship, or a new house. And that is so fun to be like, you get to celebrate things with people that you wouldn't know if it weren't for bourbon. And I think that's incredibly neat.
Yeah. And, because I think I think this is an important show because it becomes part of people's lives, their routine. And I don't know, one thing that always stuck with me, Rudy Hyman, he's in the ABV Network.
Yeah. I love Rudy. He's so sweet.
And Rudy, he had cancer and he had to get daily treatments. And he said every day he's, sick as can be and struggling with this, but he'd listen to the Bourbon Daily and it was laughs each day. And then you think, wow, what are we doing here? This is not a bad thing. If you can help people at a bad time in their life like that, we're doing something pretty cool. So
yeah,
there you go.
Very cool.
And a lot of the success that we do, and this show gets over 80,000 downloads a month just for this one. There's a lot of people that listen to the show, and McNew, you're a big part of the success. So I thank you for all the work that you do with this. And people might not think that you're working, but you are.
McNew.
This is a gig. So yeah, I appreciate you doing.
It definitely is, and I love it. I'm just like, what else would I be doing on a Friday night?
Oh yeah, that's what it amazed me at first.
I want to be here. I'm happy to be here. So
probably be in bed if you're Kathy.
No, I would also be
was it or McNew? She's yawning too.
Yeah, McNew's the best
I'm yawning on Friday nights now, not because I don't want to be here. I'm just like, I'm old. It's bedtime. So
all right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Cailee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can come see me at Leatherwood Distillery or follow me on Instagram at Cailee Baker or at the Bourbon Bakers.
All right, Kathy.
I have an Instagram account at KK Cask Strength, and I'm on Facebook at Kathy Kuhl.
All right, Katie.
You can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV, and if you follow other bourbon accounts, I will approve you to follow me.
There you go. You've been approved. All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Please check that one out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Anything else to say before we get out of here, McNew?
Oh, guys, thanks for the show. It was so sweet. And I'd also like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments, helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Well, McNew, I'm glad you're excited about the special show. And I can't wait to see you again because we were supposed to see you this weekend and that's not happening. But there may be another surprise coming up in regard to your 1,000th show coming up very soon. We'll see. I can't wait to see you though. I gotta see you. So, all right. Great job today, McNew. Congrats on show number 1,000. Here's to many thousands more.
Hit that bar. Can't wait for 2,000.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. It may be McNew's 1001 show, which by the way does have the letter A in it. So take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, Call them at 217-254-6613 or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.